Pennhurst was first opened 60 years ago when the answers to the problem of mental retardation were considered to be segregation and sterilization.
Many of the children are victims of neglect of their own family, and in many instances,
it's almost understandable.
Who cares about it? Who cares about it?
their own family.
Who cares about it?
Withering for quite a while.
Of course, disciplining.
Who cares about it?
And went around the corner, started walking up the stairs, and something ran right into the back of me. And I fell flat on my face.
Did you freaking see that?
Who cares about it? Who cares about it? Who cares about it? Who cares about it? Who cares about it?
We're not here to harm you, provoke anybody.
We're housing, some of them were schools, some of them had other things that you had, some of them housed employees, but Philadelphia was mostly a school. But we'll take you for a walk.
There are only 9 NDs and 2 psychiatrists working at the institution on a full-time
basis. They are responsible for 2,800 sick children.
As the type of work that I do, I'm called into a facility to read the building. I had never been here before, and as soon as I crossed the threshold, I was immediately rushed by energy of children.
Just so you guys know, we are in complete darkness right now. There are night vision on, we cannot see anything.
Pennhurst opened its doors in 1908 after being commissioned in 1904. It went through different phases, and buildings changed from year to year as far as the population and the overcrowding came into place.
Can you imagine being in this building with this being this dark?
Somewhere around 1968, Bill Baldini came in and did a piece on it, which was called Suffer the Little Children.
These are some of the sights and sounds of Pennhurst, the state institution for the mentally retarded. It's located in Spring City, Chester County.
The only room in the Mayflower building that's got the padded room for sound, and if you look over here, it's busted out now because of vandals, but there used to be a double-sided mirror, so they could see what was going on in the room, and then you couldn't see him.
It displayed the overcrowding and atrocities that happened to the patients.
Actually, what we're trying to do is degrade him to a certain extent amongst his fellows here.
It wasn't always like that. They changed as the times changed, as the overcrowding changed, as conditions changed. These buildings all changed with it.
Now, we're not here to harm you, provoke anybody. We know you've had people in here that's provoked, that was mean to you. We're just here to talk with you.
The reality of it is that most people look at it as Mayflower being really rough. My guess is that they really went unwatched at night.
It just feels like something's going to freaking run out and grab you and drag you into the darkness. I'll never see you again. We're up here in complete darkness.
Came in, I opened up the door, turned the alarm off. I walked into the first room on the left, kind of just set up shop, put my paperwork down, and just kind of looking around. I went to go walk back outside, and I heard the loudest scream I've ever heard in my life. gonna go check what that was. I closed the door, I went up to the gate and just hung out up there.
Mr. King, did we offend you when we were down here last time? Did you abuse children in here? And the guy that they call Mr. King, which we named the Punisher, is we believe that he's the guy that came in here anytime any kids weren't listening or acting up. He was the one that gave out the punishment.
Hear that? Did you get mad because Josh was talking about Mr. King? Do you want him to come up here?
Knock on something loud for us right now.
You hear that behind me?
Mm-hmm.
There's something directly behind me because I can feel it.
You heard walking up there?
Yeah, like water running.
Greg, was that behind you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What did you actually feel behind you, Greg, before that noise?
I just felt like, I don't know, just a lot of tension, like something was coming up behind me, then I heard a noise.
I think the longer we're here, the more they're going to get comfortable with us and want to start pushing.
Well, see, what was funny, Greg, he goes, I want to turn around and I want to face us. And then that's when we heard it.
You know, this is the only place, with the exception of a few places that I've ever been, where when you have your back turned, like right now to the darkness, you just feel like something's going to run up and freaking grab you.
Let me ask you this, John. Do you remember living anywhere except Pennhurst?
No.
Something's down here.
I've seen a boy on the 3rd floor come out of one of the rooms, kind of stop, look at us, and then ran into the next room. I ran down the hallway, see if I can catch him, and no one was in there.
Let's go look at it. Let's get out of space and go look at it. Let's go look at it. Space and go look at it. Let's go look at it. Space and go look at it. Let's go look at it.
Have you been talking more lately or less?
Less.
Why are you here in Q2, John?
I did something where I wasn't supposed to be doing.
So they punished you and put you here?
Yes.
Let this thing come to us.
Or a loved one.
It's going to come to us. If it's that scared to run from us and can't come up and face us, then heck with it.
Whoever's down here with us, we can hear you now. We've got a device that if you speak, we can hear you. Do you have a message that you want to give to a staff member or a loved one?
Ouch. Man.
In the basement, pitch dark, again, freezing cold. I was bundled up, scarf, hat, gloves, coat, and I was running a session, an EVP session, and all of a sudden I say, "Who are you? Tell me your name." And I get this feeling of fingers poking me in the rib cage.
I don't know if I got pinched or it felt like a freaking needle or something.
They said don't come to the basement and ask for something you can't handle.
I didn't call
Yeah,
it
you
out.
did.
I just told it to come
Yeah,
to
you did.
us.
You called it out. We did.
Come on, you want to take Sean on? Here he is. Take him on.
Man. I can still feel it like freaking poking or something or pinching. Did you hear that, Becca?
I had literally been touched by this entity, and this was a male figure, a very big, large man who dominated this entire area.
If there's a different spirit besides Mr. King, please let us know you're down here.
Pennhurst has hundreds of spirits here. The minute I am even driving maybe a mile away from coming onto this campus, I just feel it. They swarm me when I'm here. It's so many of them. I would say at least 200 is what I've come across, if not more. I feel like a lot of the activity is what was going on back in the day. You know, I can see people on the walkway. They're just everywhere.
It just feels like something's gonna freaking run out and grab you and drag you into the darkness. I'll never see you again. Mr. King, did we offend you when we were down here last time?
I'm not one who's going to be like upstairs by myself as you guys are in the basement. I mean, I know who's there.
Did you abuse children in here? We got a baby right here. These kids came in here and they enjoyed toys like this.
You hear all that?
Did you abuse children down here? Tell us now. It's like whenever you get aggressive, the thing gets aggressive. Tell us your name now.
I did something I wasn't supposed to be doing.
So they punished you and put you here.
I had tried to get him into a Catholic organization. Turned out that his IQ wasn't quite high enough.
Let me ask you this, John. Do you remember living anywhere except Pennhurst?
No.
Chances are poorer here than they would be where they have a program set up for this type of case.
There are too many Johnnies in Pennhurst this very evening. Unless the state provides more competent personnel and facilities, they will remain just where they are, stripped of their dignity, lost to society.
We know you're in here. We can sense it.
Can you try some of that, Josh?
No, don't do that. We're going to leave the basement. You want us to leave? Ooh. Did you hear that?
No.
It goes no. You want us to leave? We're going to leave. Is that okay with you?
No, yeah. Is that what it's saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Please.
I got cold chills.
Yeah.
You guys got any cold chills?
Are you in this room with us right now?
Hair on my back, legs. And that's...
Don't run.
We'll run if we want to run. Do you need help?
Help?
Is there a little girl down here with us?
About a little boy. An adult? Come on, answer.
We went into what I guess was a storage room. It was a wood-framed room with chicken wire as the walls. And we're standing in the middle of that room, and the whole, those walls started just shaking, like someone was shaking it on us. And that's when we decided it was probably a good time to get the hell out of there.
He will come right up to you in a threatening manner when you walk downstairs. He does it to me all the time. And when Nick was questioning him, I said, Nick said, "What's your name?" And I said, he just said, "King." And Nick said, "What the hell makes you the king?" And he said, "It's my domain." So that's his whole mindset down there. Not nice.
Come on, answer when we say stuff.
No, stay behind me.
What was wrong?
The fuck is...
Wait, stop.
What, did you see that? Oh shit, there wasn't nothing standing there.
Who's in there?
Turn white.
Did you freaking see that?
Did you get it on video?
Well, I had to. I was freaking filming it. That's how I seen it. I haven't took my damn eyes off this.
Dude.
There was somebody.
Oh my God.
What is it?
I am telling you, there was somebody fucking standing right freaking in front of me.
Let's just go towards
No, I'm
it.
talking about this shadow. This other shadow.
We already told whoever's down here that they're not the balls, we're the balls. We run this basement. No more kids are gonna be hurt.
I can't see
And we're gonna
it.
do what we wanna do. Stop right here. You wanted us, here we are.
Sean,
Somebody's
did something move? It went to the right.
Oh shit, sorry.
It went right through the wall.
We got a trash can right here. If you got the energy to beat kids and be aggressive towards people that come in here to investigate, then move that trash can. Was that you?
I can't see.
You don't have to run from us. All the noise is off. It's complete silence.
I had 6 minutes.
Now you can do something. Just nobody move. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's walking right behind you.
Come up and touch me. How clear was it on there when you seen that person standing there?
I swear I seen somebody as freaking probably almost as tall as me.
Well, what was the time on the tape? Did you hear that? What the hell?
What the hell is that? Was that somebody's stomach or was that?
No.
I can't figure it out.
There was somebody coming down those fucking steps earlier.
But as soon as we walked in, it was freaking, I started hearing footsteps out in the halls. So I figured maybe you can try to trick them and be like, hey, I see you.
And actually, he's down here behind me now. That I don't know where he came from, but he was here last time, and he's not friendly because he's.
That's how I seen it. I haven't took my damn eyes off this. There was somebody freaking standing. Right there. Back there. I swear I will give my $50 or any shit on this freaking phone.
Let's go look at it. Let's get out of this basement and go look at it. Let's go look at it.
Jesus freaking.
Had a meeting with us, and she was explaining, where he was, who he was, and we get down into the basement, and my partner was provoking this entity, spirit, whatever you want to call it. And we were quiet for a couple seconds, and I asked if he could make another noise, and next thing you know, a crowbar gets picked up off the ground and thrown right in the middle of the group.
The spirits that had worked here are not happy that we're here, and they tend to be more authoritative, some of them extremely aggressive, some of them slightly dangerous.
That's why I think a lot of times it's interesting the interaction you get paranormally in these places, because it's not always a voice. Sometimes it is physical, but it doesn't mean they're trying to hurt you. It means they didn't know how else to interact with you.
There's always touch and
so
feel.
So you're pushing, getting pushed almost down a stairwell doesn't mean they're trying to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to get your attention.
I think that's why most of that shows up on yours, Rob.
And then immediately pressure on my back, and you could see me physically move forward, that they were trying to get me back out of the building.
Not scared, but did that really just happen?
It was this feeling of, okay, we're welcoming you in, but now we want you to go. And I have never been touched personally in that manner, and it was broad daylight.
We all witnessed a crowbar getting picked up and thrown across the room. At that point, it really didn't matter to me that who this guy was. What mattered to me is how the hell did he just pick that up and throw that across the room?
Most of that shows up on yours, Rob. Holy shit. Stop. What are we doing? Just stop. Was that you? Holy shit. Go in here. We can't see you.
Sorry. got
I
voice
can't see
recorder.
what's even in this room.
When they got voice recorders.
Let's go again and then turn right.
Is that you in here?
They get this feeling of dread, something behind you. You get a feeling of you're being followed.
And it's amazing just to listen to the noises.
Can you tell us your name? Yours, Rob.
No doubt that they're here. There's too many experiences.
Institutions are sometimes pitiful, just pitiful, disgraceful. And we just can't tolerate that, John. It's not right.
What would you like most in the whole world?
The whole world?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Suffer children to come to me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of God.